Good afternoon, my name is Ryan Gardner, and tonight I'll be presenting on the NSA and privacy in America. A brief history of the NSA. It originated as an army unit during World War II that helped decipher enemy codes. In 1952, President Truman founded the NSA on November 4th after he realized the significance of having a unit that can decipher code. Currently, the NSA is one of the United States' largest agencies, but it has a classified number of employees and a classified budget, as well as we're not exactly sure what they do in the agency. The NSA is currently based in Fort Meade, Maryland, and as you see at the bottom of the screen, that is one of their quotes: "If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear." The NSA's mission is quite simple. NSA is tasked with protecting the U.S. communication networks and information systems. This means that it is tasked with protecting the U.S., basically the internet in the United States, from hackers. The NSA is the premier signals intelligence agency in America. Signals intelligence is any type of communications through the internet or wires. The NSA is responsible for the collection, analyzing, dissemination of data to protect the United States from threats, primarily those that are not domestic, and it is also tasked with supporting other agencies with SIGINT data and intelligence related to their investigations. A couple misperceptions about the NSA. The first and most important is that the NSA spies on every U.S. citizen. Senator Susan Collins from Maine is quoted and says, "One of the most egregious misinformation points is that the NSA is listening to the content of calls made by American citizens to other American citizens. The NSA only collects a U.S. citizen's call if the citizen receives a call from a known terrorist number. The NSA does this through a system where they have a list of phone numbers that are known to be terrorist numbers overseas, and when a phone call is placed to the U.S., they then intercept that phone call and listen in. The NSA, however, does not have access to any of the information about the phone call, only the recording, and should the recording show that an investigation is necessary, they turn the call over to the FBI. There are only 34 agents that are allowed to access this database of phone calls, and to allow an investigation, they have to get a warrant to pass it to the FBI. Second misperception about the NSA is that Edward Snowden's leaks prove that the NSA is breaking the law. Snowden's leaks prove that the NSA has a program in place to collect calls, but the calls are all calls being placed from non-domestic persons to a domestic person. The program collects all the calls that enter the United States and then searches them for keywords. If a keyword is picked up, it then places that call in another database that is examined by an agent. The NSA's computer is programmed to filter internet transactions, to disclose potential or discard potential domestic transactions. This is showing that the NSA attempts to not listen to U.S. calls because it is programmed to get rid of U.S. domestic calls. But that being said, the NSA does not have any laws that prevent it from collecting U.S. calls made by U.S. citizens within the United States. NSA and U.S. privacy laws. As I stated previously, there are no current laws that control the NSA's reach. The Fifth Amendment is the right to privacy, but it does not apply to the internet because anything you put on the internet is public. This also carries over to phone calls. Executive Order 12333, which was written by President Reagan, stated that foreign intelligence or counterintelligence stated that the NSA's mission was to collect foreign intelligence or counterintelligence while not acquiring information concerning the domestic activities of United States persons. This executive order was overridden by the Patriot Act of 2001 by President Bush after 9/11, which then allowed the NSA to collect on U.S. citizens suspected of terrorism. The NSA's stance on collecting domestic intelligence. The NSA publicly states that they rely on the FBI and other federal agencies to perform all domestic investigations. While the NSA can perform collection on a U.S. citizen, they choose not to due to the public's misperceptions and the public's concerns with the morality of the agency. There is a common issue within intelligence between the morality and the justification of collecting intelligence on people, and the NSA finds it is much easier to hand all domestic intelligence over to the FBI rather than deal with the public's suing of them in court. Here are a couple diagrams that show how the NSA and the FBI work together. As you see in the top right-hand corner of the screen, the NSA it works or primarily focuses on international terrorism, while the FBI primarily focuses on domestic terrorism. On the bottom left corner of the screen, you see that the FBI is their go-to partner for much of their nation's domestic surveillance needs. This is taken directly from the NSA's website and helps to show that the NSA does not plan on gathering intelligence on U.S. persons. So a brief overview of the NSA and privacy in America. There are currently no laws that truly prevent the NSA from spying on U.S. citizens. However, the NSA chooses not to spy on U.S. citizens out of their own choice. While some phone calls are collected, they have been they have suspected direct connection with terrorists abroad, and thus are allowed to be picked up by the NSA. Thank you for listening to this presentation.